Hello lads and ladies, today I'll share the top 10 tips for 1v1s in Roblox Bedwars. Before that, critical hit that subscribe button and send it to your friends. Our first trick is to know the different maps. Currently there are 12. Blossom, Canyon, Desert Shrine, Farmland, Glacier, Glade, Mystic, Ruin, Sand Temple, Snow Lodge, and Volatile. Each map has two important parts, the emerald generators and the distance to the middle. First, let's start with the emerald generators. Most maps have 2 emerald generators on 2 corners. However, a few maps have all 4 at mid, like Nordic. The other factor, the distance to mid, is equally if not more important. The distance to mid determines how many blocks you need to get to mid in your opponent's space if they decide to gen camp. Here's the distance to mid for all maps. However, there is one map that is special, the Sand Temple. This map has pots that you can break with a sword or arrow that you can get iron, emerald, and scorp stingers from. The latter is very useful as it does poison damage and sends opponents high into the air. The second trick is to know how to properly mine ores. The iron ores take 20 hits to break with a wooden pickaxe usually, but if you use this trick, the ores can be mined much faster. What you want to do is instead of holding down the ore, keep clicking on it repeatedly. The reason this works is because the first hit to the ore does more damage to it. Pros use this to break ores quicker than you're supposed to. After you buy the iron, then what do you buy? This is the third trick. My strategy is to get 44 iron to buy a stone sword and 48 blocks. Why? The stone sword is because you can win PvP fights more easily, especially against kits like Elder Tree or Terra. The 48 blocks is enough to bridge to mid, even your opponent's base on bigger maps. But blocks can be used for more than just bridging. This is the fourth trick. This trick is actually 4 tricks in one, but all 4 are about blocks. If you're by a wall, place a block every 2 blocks along the wall to reserve blocks. A second use of blocks is to build up for PvP. When you build up, you get to do the first hit in combat. In the PvP, the person who gets the first hit usually wins. The third trick is using blocks to block trap another player, which is great if they have better loot than you. Finally, blocks can be used to suffocate opponents. This is useful if your opponent has much better gear than you. All I have to do is surround them with blocks on all sides and inside. It's so satisfying to see them try to escape. The fifth trick is to not care if your opponent gets emeralds. Emeralds used to be very overpowered in Season 9, but you can't do anything with them until the Diamond era now, which takes a long time to get, especially without the Diamond Guardians. Like with emeralds, diamonds do not matter, but don't let your opponent get them. This is the 6th trick. Diamonds don't spawn fast enough for them to be used, as usually the game ends before you can get the iron era. However, try to stop anyone who gets diamonds, as it's better safe than sorry. Diamonds are only a distraction. You may ask, once you reach your opponent's bed, then what is the best way to take it out? This is the 7th trick. First, defeat them in PvP. The next step depends on if your foe's bed defense. If they have a bed defense, build up 5 to 6 blocks to break the top, and your opponent cannot damage you. Then break 1 block below and you're able to break the bed. Like with breaking ores, spam click to break the bed much faster. Speaking about beds, what about your own bed? This is the 8th trick. Do not worry if your bed is broken and do not try to defend it. If anything, a bed trade can work in your favor. Another tip is to not build a bed defense. You waste blocks and you only delay the inevitable, and only very slightly. When a person's bed is broken, they have 2 reactions, fight or flight. While fighting someone that you beat once is easy, when people run, it can be very annoying. How do you stop them? This is the 9th trick. Try to take shortcuts through large gaps by using blocks. Another trick is to buy gloops, as those slow players down. If they really get on your nerves, try playing a kit that can slow players down, like Freya or Noelle. Or try using mobility kit like Yuzi, Yamini, and Electra. Speaking of kits, what's some good kits for 1v1? This is the 10th and final trick. Here's some kits you should play. Electra, Yamini, Yuzi, their dashes and lunges are helpful for PvP and to stop runners. Evelyn, she's good for PvP and can stop runners by teleporting to them. Elder Tree, extra health can be very useful in PvP. The orbs spawn faster than they can get leather armor. Flora, use the grenade to get the edge in PvP, and you can get more when you kill your opponent, allowing you to finish them off easier. Agni, use blast off to get the height advantage, and the cluster bomb at 45 seconds to get the edge in PvP. Here's some kits to avoid. Kits that require multiple kills, like Zephyr, Barbarian, Trinity, and Adatunde. as you can finish opponents off before you can get good. They're good for trolling though. Kits that are only good late game: Zenith, Warrior, Cogsworth. The games are too short and you can't wait for 10 minutes in a 1v1. Most support kits, like Melody, Whisper, and Alchemist, as most of them are useless, and with no teammates, they can be very pointless. Quite a few of them take a lot of time or resources to be good. Armed with this knowledge, you should be able to win more 1v1s than ever before. If you benefited from these tips, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.